in, everybody, to Fantasy Pro. Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Week 18 live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia, with me as always, my co-host and baby New Year himself, D-Bro Derek Brown, the king of bros. We're here to answer any questions you might have remaining. It's Week 18. Hardly anyone's playing, but that was actually Dr. Seuss-esque now that I realize it. That's kind of cool. So look at that. It was a little rhyme time. So if you won your championships, congratulations. We'd love to hear from you here. If you're still playing because you're a crazy person, don't play in Week 18. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Tell your commissioner this is terrible. Why? Because nobody plays in Week 18 for the most part. And you're missing big-time stars. It's a terrible way to go about it. It's a terrible way to decide 6 months of preparation for fantasy football. But we're here anyway. Happy New Year, my friend. Derek Brown, good to see you. It's nice to be back. I can't believe you didn't watch that college football game yesterday. The Texas-Arizona State game was so good. It was so good.
What was the name again? I've already forgotten.
Matthew Golden's going to be a rock star.
2 months from now, I'll know who that is. Right now,
I have a comp for that, and I'm curious when you get into your season who your comp is and if it's the same guy. So we'll see.
Prospect season starts next week, baby. I can't wait.
Right. It is. It's going to be good times here. All right, let's kick things off. Seth is with us, as always, our incredible producer. He wishes everyone a happy New Year as well. We popped on here today just in case you lunatics are still playing or just in case you needed a laugh. It's, end of the football season, the start of a new year. You got to start off things right with Joe and D-Bro. All right, let's go with another Joe. Let's go. Happy New Year, starting 10 points behind because of Terry last week. So I guess like a 2-week final for Joe. Ooh, yikes. Okay, so Love May Richardson is the question, and then Ray Davis or Dowdle.
I'm going with Drake May on this one. We don't even have full confirmation Anthony Richardson's going to play. I don't know that Green Bay is going to run all their guys out there for the entire game right now. I'm still haven't gotten to that game. But I don't know if they're going to really be pushing it because I'm looking up all this playoff seeding and motivation. Like Green Bay right now is locked in. They're either going to be the 6th or the 7th seed, also depending on what the Commanders do. So who knows if Love plays the entire game. So it's May for me, a quarterback. I think Ray Davis and probably Ty Johnson split. So I'm going to go Dowdle. I mean, he's getting the volume. He's going to keep getting the volume. I don't see a difference there.
And then we have to sit one, McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, or Williams. Can't sit Williams.
Can't sit Williams in a motivation game. If you're sitting one person, I think it's McLaurin because Fitzy and I were talking about this pre-show this morning for the podcast. I don't know if Washington plays their guys for the full game. Do you think that they do, Joey? Like,
I think they wait and see how it goes.
Talking about it, but dude, like, if you got McLaurin, you're playing him in a lot of aspects. Considering these options, I'm probably rolling with Garrett and JMO.
Here's the thing. I mean, you're either way, you're going on the road for a playoff game, and it's either you're going. I think you want to play it. I think you want to lock in the 6. To be honest with you, you want to keep the 6 spot because then you were going to get, would you rather play the Rams or the Eagles? I'd rather play the Rams. I think that's the way I look at it. And then Philly, Texans, Commanders defense here. I'd play the Philly defense. I mean, did we not learn that lesson the hard way last week where nobody wanted to play the Philly defense? Like,
yep.
You just play the best
play
defense.
Philly.
Go to Hoosier. No question. Just a big thanks, bros. Made the playoffs in 4 leagues and took the ship in 3 of the 4.
Let's
you guys
go.
Appreciate for everything. Congratulations to you, Hoosier. Very cool stuff. All right, let's get to Luke's question. Jalen, McMillan, or George Pickens? You play Pickens because he is the offense. However, I don't know about you, D-Bro. I am looking for Joe Burrow is playing out of his mind. Last Saturday was a quarterback clinic. I went from 6 to midnight watching Joe Burrow play quarterback in that game. It was unbelievable how good he looked in that game. And we
were almost going to arrive in the same ER because 4 hours later, I was still thinking about Joe Burrow. Good time, Joe.
But it was incredible to watch. I mean, he's not the MVP conversation, and I understand why. But
man, that's
statistically,
it's blasphemous that he's not in MVP conversation because his defense has been so freaking bad. If they were a 12-win team, he'd be in the same combo as
Lamar.
Such
an easy schedule this year too because they were bad last year because of the injury, and it's such a shame. Because you didn't make the most of an easy schedule.
It's not the DC's fault. Blame this on the ownership. Bengals fans, if you want somebody to blame and you want to tar and feather somebody, you look at your owner, the owner of that team, the person who's going to let T. Higgins walk this offseason.
You have to let T. Higgins walk now. They shouldn't have played games with Jamar Chase, but Jamar Chase was always going to make more than Jefferson no matter what, so you might as well motivate him for the season. I get that because he's had some incompletes with some injuries and sometimes whatever. But I think you want to blame the ownership. It's not signing guys like Jesse Bates. It's not, when you have
everybody go,
players, letting them all walk. That's the problem, I think, at the end of the day. Let's go to Sean. Buffalo defense or Houston's defense? I'm going to go Buffalo defense here. Patriots make turnovers.
I'm trying to remember who Houston gets this week. Don't they get the Tennessee Titans?
Yes, they get the Tennessee Titans. You can go there too.
I'll play Houston. I'll play Houston. We're gonna get half a game of Will Levis. That's enough for a pick and a few sacks.
That's enough. By the way, fun fact: Jamar Chase has more receiving yards than the entire New England Patriots wide receiving core. Fun fact.
I like that?
You like the stat nuggets, everybody?
I love it.
The stat nuggets.
I love it.
Let's go to Shannon's question. With 0.9% chance of winning to start of Sunday. Somehow I pulled out 15-point victory. That's amazing. It's not over till it's over. That's right, Shannon.
Yes.
Don't take no crap off nobody.
Love it.
Good job. Forget projections.
Just rub it in their faces, Shannon.
Projections never won anybody anything. Noah, sitting week 18 fantasy football lineups equals the most impossible puzzle. Yeah, look, this is why you don't play the puzzle.
Preseason football, man.
This is
I have a love-hate relationship with week 18.
Yeah, I mean, my advice to everybody, take the overs because defenses don't like to tackle in week 18. Yeah, just
business decisions will be made, sir.
Fun thing here too. I want to bring this up because I was thinking about this, and I know we got a couple questions here, but it's a smaller chat today.
We got some time,
Joey. So I was having is at the gym this morning, lifting heavy things and putting them down.
Kudos to you, starting the New Year's off right.
But this is not new me. This is just me.
I know. I'm just saying, man. I'm giving you.
And I was thinking, if you had to give $50 million to a quarterback, do you want to give it to Brock Purdy or do you want to give it to Sam Darnold? I thought this was an intriguing question to ask ourselves. Because Sam Darnold also knows the offense of the 49ers because that is what Kevin O'Connell is doing.
I see the angle you're going here.
It's all in the same, similar kind of vein of thing. O'Connell's from the McVay tree and Shanahan and all those guys. They're kind of cut from the same cloth there. And I was just thinking, Brock Purdy is the last pick in the draft. Brock Purdy is the epitome of system quarterback. And then there's Sam Darnold, who was taken with a top 10 pick. Was lauded as a can't miss prospect kind of guy, right? Had the pedigree in college, played very well. Things did not go on in the NFL. Now he's coming off an incredible season. So who would you rather have long term?
Oof. Now,
good question, right? Drop your answers in the chat too. I want to see the chat.
Very
Darnold or Purdy? Who are you giving $50 million to?
Very good question. Now, the injuries have to be a part of this conversation. If the injuries are a part of this conversation, I think it's Darnold. Okay. If the injuries are not a part of this conversation and they are a very, very, very big part of, the 49ers are going to use that in their negotiating power with Purdy this offseason.
They should.
If those were not a part of this conversation and we could assume health for the life of a contract, dude, I honestly go Brock Purdy. I know that's not the sexy answer that anybody wants. I know everybody's all full Sammy Darnold. And it's so funny where we started this offseason and saying, man, I don't know if we should even draft Justin Jefferson because Sam Darnold's the quarterback to Sam Darnold should be in the MVP conversation. And it's like, there's a lot of capitulation from one of those takes to the other.
He's already won Coach of the Year. It's like minus 3,000.
And he should.
He should.
To me, I believe Purdy and his skill set and his decision making in between what's between the ears is more transferable than Sam Darnold to every different NFL system. I think a lot of this is KOC magic. Okay. I know that's not the popular take. I get it.
I go the other way. I go with Darnold because I think it was, it was very Goodwill Hunting-esque. It just wasn't his fault. I think he was just in retrospect.
Oh, he was in a horrible situation.
Jets is as bad as it gets, right? We know that already. Carolina Panthers, as bad as it gets. San Francisco for a hot minute, all right, where, it felt like they didn't want to let him go, but they had no choice. Like they just had no choice of what was going on there. But I don't know. Sometimes it just takes a little longer to cook. It's an interesting conversation to have. Let's go to Hud like Hudson. Just tuning in for the fun of it. Love the show. I won my week last week. Now on vacation with money.
There
we go.
Let's go. Living the good life.
Happy New Year, Hud. I don't think
we're one of those Corona commercials. Just feet flopped up in the. It's beautiful.
Hey, we're here because we're men of the people. Nathan's Variety Hour, one of my favorite programs to watch. 2-week chip, Jonnu or Trey. That's the other thing too. These 2-weekers, where if you're gonna do the 2-week championship or like the multiple week championships, you don't do it in week 14.
17?
Well, but here's the problem: is you have to run it 15 and 16, 17. Honestly? Because you can't run a week 14 because it's that bipocalypse they do after Thanksgiving every year, which is also
crazy. That needs to go away too. That was horrible this year.
Terrible.
That just cited so many best ball teams, and I know everybody not in best ball streets, but that was horrible, man. Like I think
playing Trey McBride is the answer to this question.
Yeah, Trey McBride's the answer. We're varying the answer, but it's McBride. You can't sit him. Sorry.
You got a touchdown. It's all good now. Philly or the Chargers defense? From Brandon. Again, I'm playing Philly against the Giants. Color me unimpressed by Drew Lock's career game against the Colts last week, where I'm not going to go chasing that.
Yes.
Could you imagine Drew Lock won somebody a Superflex championship?
Oh,
good times.
I mean, if you had the gall to start him, I mean, kudos. But
George Pickens or McMillan again, same question. I'm going with Pickens there. He was, you got to try that. He is the offense. Tyrone, Tracy, Abdullah, or Ray Davis is another one here. This is a little bit more interesting to me. I think Tracy's the way I'd go because he's gonna like the Giants are a team that's playing for pride of jobs next year in the evaluation process. The Giants' job is one that is interesting to me because I think if you look at the shell of the Giants, you've got some defensive talent. You have a running back in Tracy. You have Malik Neighbors, who's an alpha dog #1 guy. Little fixes, tweaks to the offensive line, maybe some personality adjustments, a new quarterback. Interesting landing spot, I think, for a few people potentially. But here's a fun one too. I didn't say this to Welsh yet out loud, but wouldn't it be funny to see Aaron Rodgers go to San Francisco to live out his boyhood dream? Just
Lord.
one more. If you don't want to play, you don't want to pay Brock Purdy.
For Welsh's sanity and all of our collective sanity, I hope not.
I have to start rooting for Aaron Rodgers because if we don't root for him to play well in week 18,
he's going to be even more prominent in the media. And
he's going to be on a podcast. He's going to have his own podcast. It's going to
be even worse. I agree. I'm rooting for him to stay playing just so I don't have to listen to the insanity.
I mean, although a part of me,
as much
another loss to the Dolphins, in New York, the crowd booing him off the field is also another fantastic Jets image that I would love. I'm so torn, so emotionally torn by the whole thing. Ronaldo, Blake Corum, or Rico Dowdle? I think I just played out with Dowdle.
Yeah, I'm playing it out with Dowdle. Like, Corum should theoretically get all the work, and if you got him, you're starting him. But I'm going to go Dowdle. We've seen the matchup. He's going to get 20 touches in this game.
Sean, Thielen or Sutton? You know me, I was team last week too. Now Sutton gets the Kansas City Chiefs this week, but the Chiefs don't have much to play.
I'm going Thielen.
I'm going Thielen too.
I'm going. Both bad secondaries.
Should I start Achance or Ameer Abdullah? I have to still start Achance.
You still start Achance. I get it.
The Jets are not against the run.
If you start Abdullah over Achance, just be prepared for wanting to throw the remote against the wall if you see a lot more Alexander Madison than you hope to see.
Oh, God. All right. Well, look, one thing you should definitely do is download the Betting Pros app. And when you do, you could use the promo code FPFREE to unlock a free month of the best betting tools on the planet. Most of you already know, hopefully, about how great the tools of FantasyPros, my playbook, is. So imagine that, but in the betting world and more. That's what Betting Pros is. We just recorded our best bet show for week 18. If you haven't, go run over to the YouTube channel and subscribe there. We got amazing shows, great content over there. We're doing some live streams next week. We're even doing a live during one of the wild card games in a couple weeks. So that's going to be a good time. So make sure you're hanging out with us for all that. And again, the promo code is FPFREE. Download the Betting Pros app. And look, if you lost your fantasy league, try to make some money back with us. We'll help you. We'll get you through. Just don't listen to Terrell about betting the Steelers because I keep telling him, stop doing it. And
don't
he doesn't listen to me.
Yeah.
Well, he's right in the sense we can come back to us here. We can get enough of the free trial. More Joey P and Dirk.
Can we give a shout out to our own Mike Mayer? He tweeted this out the other day. Up over 100 units with all of his system picks this year.
Oh, it's tremendous. The systems are
Erickson also having a fantastic betting season. Yourself and mine. I mean, we're closing strong here, Joey. Closing strong, baby.
But Terrell's right. Historically, Mike Tomlin as the underdog is where you want to be. Like this, but
I don't care.
I told him, I was like, look, Lamar Jackson, I think he has had it. You could sense in the last press conference, he has had it with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's had it with the narrative that I'm not, I can't play against the Steelers. And sure enough, last time we saw it, it was pretty unbelievable. But, the Steelers are limping into the playoffs right now.
Not playing good right now.
Well, but the offense isn't playing well either. And look, Pickens, it has to be more than Pickens. And that's the problem
and it's not going to be.
They just, look, this is what I kept saying about Russell Wilson, is he doesn't give you that dynamic big play thing that Justin Fields brings to that offense where you have to just constantly defend differently. I know exactly how to defend Russell Wilson.
Yeah, anybody does.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's easy.
Justin Fields, you could do so many more things. And Fields, let's say what, you drop Justin Fields with the Giants next year or the Jets next year or one of these other teams with the right coach and the right thing. Justin Fields is going to be a baller next year. I'm telling you, like it's going to happen.
It's the same old, but like the playbook for Russ is you just beat the Steelers by doing two things. You eliminate George Pickens and you stop the run game. If you load up to stop the run and you take away the bucket shots on the perimeter on these go routes, the Steelers can't move the ball. It's not difficult.
I also like Minnesota on Sunday night, by the way, to win outright. They haven't lost
I do just by the state of Detroit's defense. Like they have to score every possession.
Well, it's the state of the defense, but it's also Dan Campbell in every big spot. And I think I've learned my lesson here, which is the bigger the game, the bigger he makes a bad decision, which is being too aggressive. And it ends up costing them games in these big spots. And until he shows me he has more discipline as a head coach to make better decisions, I'm not doing it. Like, I learned my lessons. Like, that's it. Nathan's back again. Russell Wilson, Caleb Williams, or Michael Penix, 6-point passing touchdown.
I have no faith in Caleb at this point.
I think you got to throw it against the wall with Penix now.
I think if you need the upside, you go Penix, but they could easily just run the ball. I do stick with Russ on this one, probably just for
that's fair. Russ is the safe.
I mean, the Bengals are gonna force them to have to try to throw the ball as bad as it's been.
Michael, Gainwell, Garendo, Abdullah, or Ray Davis. Pick 2. You get 2.
First 2. I think Gainwell is gonna get fed. Good matchup. Garendo he's been a really good dual threat. 0 RB guys are gonna love some Isaac Garendo next year.
How about what a class act Saquon Barkley is. It's like
he's better than I am, man. I would have been for all the stuff. I would have been like, no, I want this record. Like,
it's the offensive line pride too. It's not just his pride.
It though, but
it's 16 games for 17 games, and
history. When you have a chance to chase history,
it's a different number of games. Like, I think it doesn't
matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think having one more game to do it in.
But
I know the NFL's harder now. I get it.
We can play all that out though. Do you remember the game, Joey, where Sirianni went over and Saquon asked to come out of the game? So let's play the young kids. So like he could have already hit that if he wasn't being humble. So like that's the way that I go with it too. It's like there's been moments where could he have already hit this mark? Yeah, dude.
That's like leadership.
To me, I don't disagree with you, but for me, it's like when you have a chance to grasp history, you take it.
That's why I took this job, because I thought I had a chance to grasp history.
Well, you wanted to work with legendary people like Blaine and Mike Mayer. So
that's right. Yes. Thanks for all the advice from J Mock. Went 12-2 and the championship. My buddy's still wondering how I went from 4 IR injuries to still being the overall champ. Owe this to you guys. Thanks, J Mock. Well, you did the work. We're here to help.
Love it.
But come back next year, or stay with us all year. We got the draft stuff coming up. Before you know, it's going to be Derek Brown will actually know the college football players that I'm talking about. It's going to be really great.
Very quickly. It's a quick ramp up.
Look, I'm a busy boy too during the NFL season, but I still get to watch some college football. I'm still like trying to get ingrained there. There's a couple guys that I think have you watched any Ashton Genty at all?
I haven't watched any
oh my gosh, you haven't watched any Ashton Genty?
It's going to be a good time. My God, we might need to stream watching some Genty film together.
You know what? We should do that on Twitch. We should do film sessions together on the Twitch stream where we watch it together, the same clips, and talk about it, because I think that would be very fun for the audience. I think that's the Twitch stuff is coming this year. We're getting it in 2025. Jordan, Chargers or the Broncos defense?
I'm going Broncos against Carson Wentz. Yeah, sign me up.
I'm worried about that game. I'm worried that the Chiefs are going to accidentally win with Carson Wentz.
The Chiefs are going to win.
And they're going to let Joe Burrow in the playoffs, and that is so bad idea.
Dude. All right, so here's an offshoot conversation. I think everybody is, if the Bengals get in the playoffs, okay? Do you think Jamar Chase has a chance to be the offensive player of the year, getting the Triple Crown? It's only the 17th time it's ever happened. Ever happened in wide receiver,
because he went 2,000 yards. This could be Saquon.
See, and I think Chase deserves to be in the conversation.
It should be. He is, but the thing is, it's a media award, and
everybody's just so fixated on Saquon.
They're fixated on Saquon for good reason, but also, do you know how much these old farts who vote for this award love this team before me stuff?
Yeah. Of course.
I mean, forget it.
Well, and then you
that award the minute he wasn't playing.
Establish the run quotient. I mean, voting for a running back. Oh yeah, baby. Of course. Talk about 6 to midnight. I mean,
look about Ben. Hey, bros. Full PPR pick 1. Jordan Love, Bryce Young, Russell Wilson, or Flacco. You're gonna laugh. I kind of like Flacco.
I was Flacco. Home? No, I'm with you. I think it's Flacco.
Kind of like Flacco.
The answer here.
Week 18, it's cold in a lot of places.
It's Flacco or Bryce for me, because I know they're going to play the entire game.
Yeah,
and they both have good matchups.
I like the over in that game too. That game is too low. It's like 43.5. I think against Jacksonville, that's way too low.
It's just a slop fest. They're probably going to put it. Oh, wait, hold up. We got another part of that.
Oh, no. Oh, can you bring that back, Seth? I don't know how to do it. So sorry. Sorry, Seth. I know there was more things.
There was a Corum and I think it was the first 2 running backs. That's what was going to be my answer.
Let's go to this one. Oh, there
we go. There it is.
There you go. Pick 2. Tracy, Corum, Jennings, Zacchaeus.
Tracy and Corum for me, and I'll go Chargers D.
Chargers defense. There we go. All right. Sorry, Ben. My bad, Ben. All right, let's go to Eric's question. Fantasy Pros, Dowdle or Jonnu in the flex? I'm taking the carries.
Dowdle. Taking
you might get Huntley playing in that game. So you just don't know. Know.
I mean, it's going to be Snoop. He's going to start.
I just
Scoop.
That's the one thing that makes it look. The Miami Dolphins do 2 things. They beat bad teams and they lose to good teams. That's what they do. The Jets are a bad team, but I just worry a little bit with
the math. The math checks out. The math checks out, Joey.
I mean, Mike McDaniel is 3-15 in his career against teams with winning records or something like that. I saw.
Yeah. It just
or 3-18 or some ridiculous thing. It was a bad number.
How do you get excited as a Dolphins fan over the next 2 years? They've just really kind of.
Well, you remember when he was hired? We had this conversation. I'm like, this guy's super fun, but he's either going to burn out or very quickly, or he's going to be a legendary game-changing guy. And I don't think it's the latter. I just didn't think it was the latter. I just thought he was. A fun offensive coordinator. Head coach is a different job. The NFL doesn't understand that too. Overall, the head coach is a different job than coordinator. And not everybody's built for that head coach position. Like the Harbaugh brothers are built for that head coach. They are head coaches.
There are a lot of coaches out there that are just better coordinators than they are head coaches.
Mike Tomlin is a football coach. He's a coach. I know everyone is a coordinator too, but not every
leadership and culture, man. It all
culture.
That's that's why it's so funny. We were so big to make so many jokes about Detroit hiring Dan Campbell, and he's been a culture builder, and look what they've done.
Absolutely.
Everybody, I'm old enough to remember, Joey, when we all did the same thing. And while he's polarizing and a lot of people do not like him, do you remember the first press conference for Nick Sirianni? We all made fun of how bad he was in front of the podium and his evolution as a head coach. He's a culture builder too. People can hate him and all that kind of stuff.
He is, but it's
wins, and
it is. But the funny thing is too, when you look back at the Eagles, I remember when Doug Peterson was the butt of every joke, and then he won a Super Bowl, and all of a sudden he was a genius. And I'm like, no, he's not a genius. He just got the luckiest run of his life.
They just ran hot.
Backup quarterback. They just got red hot, and they could do no wrong. That's the difference. And now
ice cream loving full.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do love ice cream. DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, or Drake London. Who's the odd man out for Jordan?
I think it's Garrett Wilson.
You think it's Wilson? It was more Wilson. That was the way.
It's more. Well, London is a half to start. Yeah, he's gonna get fed. So
I think it's
tough.
It's Wilson.
I just think DJ Moore is going to get pepper with targets. He's going to get his. I just worry that Rodgers is going to go with the feed Devontae Adams and screw it. I'm out the door.
Oh my goodness. Charbonnet or Deebo from Sean?
Charbonnet, easily. Charbonnet is a plug and play RB1.
Yeah, I was going to win that football game easily because the Rams aren't playing anybody. Parv, thanks for all the advice this year. My favorite stream to watch every week. Thanks, Parv. Appreciate it. Parv. Needs 2 RBs. Stop playing in week 18, Parv.
Yes. Listen,
look at this is what we're in. Corum. I mean, who wants Blake Corum to decide a fantasy championship? Corum, Davis, Carter, or Stevenson.
Which Carter are we talking? What Carter are we talking about here?
Coach Carter, Linda Carter. I loved Linda Carter when I was a kid. Boy, Wonder Woman.
I don't even know what Carter. Oh, Michael Carter. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going down the recesses and I'm like, who did I write it as a Carter? Michael.
When I was a kid, Wonder Woman syndication. Let me tell you, Linda Carter.
It's Corum and Michael Carter for me.
There you go. Jesse J. Corum or Gainwell from Jesse.
Ooh.
I think it's Gainwell.
I'm gonna go Gainwell. Yeah, you can't.
Better offensive
Giants,
line.
baby. Giants provide.
Brandon, pick 2. Rashad White, Breece Hall, Jalen Warren, Blake Corum.
Corum and I'm gonna. Assuming full health, I know he's been dinged up on the report and stuff like that, but if it's Corum, I'm actually going Corum and Jalen Warren. Dude, he's been out-snapping Najee Harris over the last few weeks. He's been their workhorse, not Najee.
Steelers' backfield is an interesting one to watch.
They have nobody. They're going to have to re-sign somebody, and I won't be surprised if they're smart, they bring Jalen Warren back, but we'll see.
If they're smart, I think they go in a whole other direction.
Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? The last direction they went by drafting a running back in the first round?
I don't know about first round, but here's the problem too. Because I was telling you, we were.
Did you imagine Pittsburgh getting Ashton Genty?
The worst take out there is people tell me that Cam Scatabo is Mike Allstott. I'm like, bro, Mike Allstott was 6'2", 250. This guy's 5'10", 215. I know he's fun to watch. I know the game is different and guys are smaller, but and now the running back position in the area. But stop. He is not Mike Allstott. Stop saying that. Mike Allstott was a massive
so bad with comps,
he was 6'2", 250. So he was a big dude, 6'2", 250 running downhill at you.
People get so bad with comps.
Yeah. Well, that's I don't want to, like I said, Matthew Golden. There's a couple wide receivers.
I'll be able to weigh in about a month,
especially if he ends up with the right quarterback too. Oh, baby. Love this kid. Let's go to Lionel Jimenez. Need a flex. Meyer, Dowdle, Warren, or Pittman in the full PPR.
Dowdle.
All right, let's go to Alex here. Davis, Warren, Gainwell, pick one. Still Gainwell for me with that line.
It's Gainwell. Yeah, it's Gainwell.
Let's go for Giants. Jordan, May, or Penix, the super flex. Well, May's going to give you some rushing yards. They have a quarterback. If they're smart, they will go and try to get a new head coach. I don't think Gerard Mayo is a head coach.
They're not. I want the same thing you want, Joey, and I feel like Bob Kraft ain't doing it.
I think he's gonna have a choice though. He's gonna be in a rock and a hard place where Mike Vrabel's gonna have offers, and he's gonna say, "Look, I gave you a chance to be loyal and do what you did, Bob. But look, I'm not sitting out 2 years." And I think the pressure he will cave.
Smart, they bring in Vrabel because Mayo is
not a head. He's on over his skates a little bit.
He is way in over his head, man.
And look, Brian Flores I thought should have gotten fired in the first place from the Dolphins. Brian Flores is going to be a head coach somewhere too next year.
Would you take Brian Flores to New England?
Well, that's another guy that's got.
I would.
I mean, that's another guy that I'd rather have. So Flores or Vrabel would way better coach.
I wouldn't want Flores. The only reason I wouldn't want that is with Drake May, you have a rookie quarterback because we saw how that worked out for Tua and stuff before.
Yeah, but if you bring a Josh McCown as an offensive coordinator with you, or a young guy who played quarterback, like somebody like that, I think Josh McCown's ready to take that. Josh McCown's going to be another guy too, who might be a head coach in the league someday.
Yep, he's about 2 years away. He needs to get another OC job, standalone and stuff. He's about 2-3 years away, and he'll be in the head coaching.
Brandon, another one, flex DJ Moore or Jalen McMillan.
I'm staying in the heat of Jalen McMillan, dude.
Dude, how do you not?
Jalen McMillan is.
I love. You know what?
That's where I'm going with it.
It was too late, and I didn't get to see any of the benefits of it. But I was right about Jalen McMillan. I was right about what I saw in August in that evaluation of Jalen McMillan. It's like, this kid's a baller. He's the real deal.
I was right about the fact that he was, when you stack him up versus Jalen Polk, it wasn't even a question.
Oh,
it was right the whole time.
Please
don't get never Jalen Polk. Speaking again of New England drafting terribly.
Between everybody sitting and especially all these injuries too, we just got questionable tags now on T. Higgins, which isn't surprising. I still expect him to play because there's money on the line.
Do you think Chase Brown plays? Because we haven't had a question about him.
Chase Brown is not going to play.
I don't think he's going to play either. I think it's going to be Khalil Herbert. So that's another good point. If you're playing this week, go see if Khalil Herbert's somehow out there. He might be.
Or use the tool. Are they playing? Go to fantasypros.com/are they playing? That's the only way to find out if someone is playing or not. That's the way to do it. So go to fantasypros.com/are they playing, and it uses AI and it uses the latest news updates and of course also the player's injury history to give you a good approximation of whether or not a player will be in or out for this week of fantasy. So again, are they playing? Another one of the tools over on fantasypros.com. Oh my, is there news? Is oh my or just
Bailey Zappi is starting for the Cleveland Browns?
They named. I saw that it was DTR and Bailey Zappi were going to play, but they hadn't named a starter yet. So Zappi's the starter. Nice. Let's go, Cleveland Browns.
Judy in week 18. I'm sorry.
This is why you don't play week 18, kids. This is why you don't do it. But shout out to everybody. Good luck if you are playing in week 18. And then right after the championship, text, DM, message your commissioner and tell them stop doing this. This is a terrible way to decide fantasy championships. And of course, we appreciate all of you. We got so much fun content coming on the channel in a next couple days here. We've got award shows. We got looking ahead to next year. We got all the dynasty shows. We've got the draft stuff coming up. So we're 24-hour, 7 days a week, how many months? 12 months out of the year, we are football here at Fantasy Pro. So make sure you we are football here at Fantasy Pro. So make sure you stick with us, subscribe to the channel, and best of luck to all of you still playing in week 18. And then again, hang with us for more football talk. We appreciate you guys being part of the shows, asking us questions. And and we're very proud of all of you for making as far as you did in your leagues. It was a tough year, a lot of injuries, but we don't give up. We never surrender. And this is why. Those people, those stories that tell us they won fantasy championships, that's fantastic. Like you start off 2-4, or you have all these injuries, you got 4 stars on the IR, and you're still winning championships. That's because you're hanging with us, the cool kids over at Fantasy Pros. So again, on behalf of all of us, our production team, our behind the scenes people, our leadership, everybody, our dev team, we're nowhere without you, our customers, our watchers, our listeners. So we appreciate everything that you do, being part of the shows and being part of Fantasy Pros. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Derek Brown, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Go win those championships in week 18. Yeah, crazy people.
Man, that sign-off felt so just closing of a chapter on a season, buddy. I love you.
I love you too, man.
So good.
Where's our closing window here? Seth is going to give us the closing window. There it is.